Donald Trump wrote a rant about a judge and his wife on his Truth Social. This rant lasts about 5 minutes, and I will read it out. Can you imagine? A Barack Hussein Obama judge named Christopher Cooper has stopped a magnificent structural and aesthetic rebuilding of the Trump Kennedy Center, where millions of dollars of material, marble, furniture, steel, air conditioning, heating, and so much else was ordered, or soon to be ordered, with the end result being a structure that would no longer be in a potential state of collapse, rusted, rotted, and rat and bug infested, to one that would be the finest anywhere in the world. It was necessary to close the centre in order to get this work done. It is not possible to have a major and very dangerous construction job, including the replacement of structural beams, with audiences innocently going in to watch a play. The marble is in terrible shape. The pipes are gone. The air conditioning and heating systems are 65 years old and no longer functioning. It was all being torn out to be replaced by brand new carrier equipment at the highest standard. Now that won't happen anymore because a judge, whose wife is an anti-Trump hater, and he is too, decided, unprecedentedly, to not allow a desperately needed building renovation to go forward. On top of that, he said, rip his name off the building, he's got 20 days to do so, even though a large board of some of the most distinguished people in the country voted unanimously to put the name up. I didn't do it, the board did, because they thought it would be good for this dying institution, which was doing record low business, and especially after COVID, only getting worse. True for other such institutions throughout the country. But the Trump Kennedy Center was going to be a special one. It would have fully recovered when none others will. It would have been a new standard of excellence, one of my many gifts to Washington, D.C. The new building would have been incomparable. Beautiful marble, magnificent chandeliers, the finest carpets, rugs, and furniture, designed at the highest level, but perhaps most importantly, replaced steel on many beams, columns, and girders, making the building structurally sound again. People shouldn't be allowed to go into that building until this is fixed, and yet the Trump-hating judge wants to keep it open because his wife probably told him to do so. Cooper's wife, Amy Jeffress, who doesn't use the Cooper name because they, as a couple, don't want people to know that she has a conflict of interest with an important judge, is a radical left Democrat who worked as a federal prosecutor and counselor to Obama Attorney General Eric Holder, worked behind the scenes for the January 6th Unselect Committee of Political Hacks and Thugs, dirty cop FBI attorney Lisa Page in the Hillary Clinton email scandal, Russia, Russia, Russia hoax, and her millions of dollars settlement, even though she was guilty as hell, and is currently representing sleepy Joe Biden on the release of his audio tapes, and more. She also works for the same legal firm that represented E. Jean Carroll, who received a decision against me, now under appeal, that was shocking to the entire world. Amy is totally wired into the left system from her husband down, and it is impossible for me to be treated fairly. He has a total conflict of interest and should be brought up on charges for not revealing these facts. That is why the Kennedy Center will soon be closed, probably never to open again. That is why, at a different level and with different players, our country lost the tariff case and is forced to pay back $149 billion in money received from people who hate everything we stand for. He has a total conflict of interest and should be brought up on charges for not revealing these facts. That is why the Kennedy Center will soon be closed, probably never to open again. That is why, at a different level and with different players, our country lost the tariff case and is forced to pay back $149 billion in money received from people who hate everything we stand for. They are laughing all the way to the bank at how stupid we are. One half-sentence clause from the Supreme Court would have saved us this incalculable amount of money. And that is probably why our country will lose the birthright citizenship case. No other country in the world has this. It is totally unaffordable. Because our court system is rigged, no different than our political system is rigged, and the people of our country know it. And that is why I got overwhelmingly elected president in record numbers and will fight, fight, fight. President Donald J. Trump.